afternoon and welcome to round number 1 of the Castrol Motoplan National Superbike Championships. Hello everybody, I'm Pat Gonzalez and welcome to Saintair International Speedway near Granby, Quebec, the site of the first of 6 national races we'll be showing you this season. With me is Craig Hill from Castrol, and Craig, we've got a little bit different lineup of races this year.
Well, yeah, we're going to show the fans a little something different, Pat. In the past, we've always shown the 750 production race along with our superbike racing, but this year we're going to mix it up a bit. We're going to have the Pro 600 production races, and we're going to show shots of the 250 GP races on occasion. And it'll give the fans a chance to look at some different bikes, see some new faces, and just give the program an entirely different look.
Well, for those of you who are new to the series, these road races take place from East Coast to West Coast, and we of course start here at Saintair. The events are sanctioned by Road Racing Associates Canada Events. They organize and sanction all of the road races that'll take place across Canada in the national championships. Many of these riders who are here for this opening round have already competed several times already this year, starting with provincial events and moving on to some international events, Craig.
Oh, for sure, Pat. We had a very strong contingent of riders down at Daytona this year. Tommy Douglas, of course, went over to the match races in England. And Miguel Duhamel, of course, he was at the 24-hour race in France and did exceptionally well. As a matter of fact, he finished 4th overall and set the fastest lap of the race. And, of course, we've had Ruben and a few other people running in and out of the American Motorcycle Series races in the States on the national basis, and they're doing very well with that, too. So, you know, our riders have had a lot of experience going into this first race of the year. They haven't been sitting still all winter long.
Well, from our opening round here at Saintair, the riders will move on to Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia for round number 2 at Atlantic Motorsport Park before heading back to Ontario for round 3 at Shannonville Motorsport Park.
And next, it's on to Race City Speedway in Calgary. And then over the mountains to Westwood Motorsport Park in BC, and back to Shannonville Motorsport Park for the final of our 6-race series. And here's Pat with a look at these new superbikes.
All 4 of the major Japanese manufacturers have brand new 750cc motorcycles that are the basis for the superbikes that we'll see racing in this year's series. This is defending champion Ruben McMurder's Honda RC30. It is unique to the current crop of superbikes. It has a V4 engine and a single swing arm. This motorcycle won countless races last year around the world, including the first ever World Superbike Series. McMurder definitely has a machine that's capable of retaining that '1 plate this year. Gary Goodfellow also raced the Honda RC30 last year, but he has moved to Suzuki for 1989 on this brand new factory-built 750 that's sponsored by Japanese clothing manufacturer Don Knit. The bike has better aerodynamics, a more powerful engine, and a better chassis. Goodfellow, along with Michel Mercier and new Team Suzuki rider Miguel Duhamel, are all capable of winning the '1 plate. Kawasaki has a brand new 750, the ZX7. Let's take a look at that brand new superbike machine. This new 750 has shown a lot of promise in early season races in the United States. Veteran Norm Murphy and rookie Jacques Gannett will spearhead Kawasaki's efforts this year. But we might not see the full potential out of this new ZX7 until later in the year, as the bike must go through its development process. Yamaha also has a brand new 750 machine for 1989. This 750 superbike that Tommy Douglas will ride in this year's series has a brand new chassis, improved engine, and has been very impressive in early season racing as well. Tommy will carry our onboard Sony camera again this year. The camera unit is mounted in the front of the fairing, and the record unit is back here in the tail section. Tommy should provide some great pictures of our racing this year. We'll be back at Saintair with our first race, Pro 600 production, in just a moment.
This is a research laboratory. It tries and fails to make Castrol motor oil break down. It's the place where Castrol is torture tested to meet the requirements of those who punish motor oil the most. You. The everyday Canadian driver.
For those with a talent for brightening up the holidays, McDonald's has something special just for you. For a short time, we're serving holiday chicken McNuggets with a festive orange sauce. There are also thick, rich eggnog milkshakes and cool peppermint sundaes. They're just our way of brightening up the season.
And you can brighten up someone else's holiday with McDonald's gift certificates, a great gift for anyone on your list.
What's your stupid dog up to now, Charlie Brown? You mean you never heard of Sherlock Hound, alias the MetLife representative? When a customer has a question, the MetLife representative knows where to find the right answers.
And he'll get back to them fast?
Elementary, my dear Lucy. Get Met. It pays.
Welcome back to Saintair International Speedway. As promised, our first race today is the Pro 600 Production 12-lap final. 107, Steve Crevier has qualified on the pole position, and he'll be the rider to watch. But the rider who is expected to qualify on the pole,
Number 6, Dwight McKinley, Colin Snyder, as we're just about set to go, and the riders are away. This is the shot from the hairpin at turn number 1 as we watch the riders charge down that drag strip straightaway. Rider number 99, Ramsey, in the middle of the racetrack, but down to the inside. Crevier, number 107, will grab the lead. Ramsey in there. No, number 10, Grummett, gets pushed off of the racetrack. There you can see from the onboard Sony Handycam the heavy traffic in turn number 1. We've got a couple of other riders, past several riders. Again, Tommy with that unfortunate get-off in qualifying, but he is making a quick charge to the front as they come around here on lap number 1 of the restart. Under the bridge, 250, Gingras in second, 85, Royer runs third, and now the rookie, number 21, Pascal Picot, has moved up into the 4th place position. Tommy Douglas continues to close. He's worked his way up into the top 10, chasing down the number 10 machine there on the straightaway. That is David Grummett. And now Tommy Douglas coming up on 2 of those machines on the straightaway. He looks to the inside as they get on the brakes going into the hairpin, but he'll have to follow Grummett through that first turn. Outstanding run here in the early going, Craig, by Tommy Douglas as he's moved up into a contending position.
Well, Pat, he's had an opportunity to ride that bike 2 or 3 times this year, and he's got that thing working to perfection today. He's come through the field with absolutely no trouble at all so far.
Another rider coming up through the field, number 21, Pascal Picot, as he has moved around into that 3rd place position. Denny Royer, number 85, just ahead of him in the number 2 spot. Douglas is now up into 6th as they come under the bridge. Douglas all over the 99 machine. That is the Honda of Nova Scotia rider John Ramsey. Here is Tommy Douglas as he challenges on the straightaway. Crevier, 107, your leader. 85, Royer, the 2nd place rider. Number 21, Picot in 3rd. All 3 of those riders are on the new Yamaha FZR 600. Here's Douglas looking for the pass around Ramsey, who's aboard one of the Honda CBR 600s. But for the moment, Ramsey holds the position. Crevier, 107 through the chicane. It is still 85, Royer, 21, Picot in 2nd and 3rd. And now Tommy Douglas up into the 5th place spot. Again, the onboard Sony Handycam giving us these pictures as Douglas closes here on Ramsey, right on his rear tire as they go through the stock car oval that makes up part of the road course here at Saintair. Douglas pulls up alongside of Ramsey as they come under the bridge, and he will take over the 4th place position. Now Douglas looks up ahead on the long drag strip straightaway and sees 21 Picot and 85 Royer, who are having quite a battle for 2nd. Picot will move around Royer to take over the number 2 spot as they go into turn 1. So it is 107 Crevier, your leader, 21 the rookie Pascal Picot, just 19 years of age from nearby Granby, Quebec. And now again from the onboard, there you can see Crevier going through. Douglas, number 2, again closing on Picot as they go through the stock car oval, and Douglas pulls up alongside. He will take over 2nd, or does he? No, Picot gets him right back. Douglas had moved ahead in a 2nd. Picot makes the quick check over the left shoulder. Douglas was by as they came under the bridge, but Picot had the faster line as they went onto the straightaway, and he moved back around into 2nd, but here is Douglas at the end of the straightaway. He will pull up alongside, and now Tommy Douglas will make the pass stick as he moves just a bike length ahead of Picot, number 21. It is still 85, Denny Royer running in the 4th place position.
And Pat, there's just great racing all the way through this field, and that's Tony Sharpless, number 139 in 13th. And I asked her earlier if it was a problem working the draft on this long straightaway.
Especially today, it's a little bit windy. You really have to crawl in behind the fairing and tuck in your knees and elbows and really stay tight to get the maximum speed out of a production bike in the wind and on this straightaway.
The leader, Steve Crevier, number 107, comes on to the start-finish straightaway. And as he comes up across the line, he will get the blue and white last lap flag. There you can see the lead that Crevier has over Tommy Douglas, number 2. Picot 21 still holds the 3rd place position, and Denny Royer is back in 4th. So the Yamahas have dominated here at Saintair as they did to kick off the season at Daytona. A little bit further back, we look at a battle here. 178, Kenny Cooper, number 7, Paquette. There's Tony Sharpless, and oh, Sharpless crashes going into the hairpin. Picot also involved, along with Kathleen Coburn. Coburn holding her left side as she walks away from the incident, but 3 riders crashing into the hairpin. The yellow caution flag is out. Here is 107 Crevier out of the final corner. The checkered flag will be out at the line. As Crevier comes up, he gets the checkered flag for the win. And here is the ambulance that has moved into the hairpin position. Kathleen Coburn appears to be slightly shaken up. There is Tony Sharpless, who was one of the other riders involved. Kathleen has taken off the helmet, and it looks like she'll be okay.
So there are the results, with Crevier winning it, followed by Douglas, who came from last place, Picot, Royer, then Ramsey.
Brissaw, Grummet, Fletcher, Gingras, and Kenny Cooper round out the top 10.
And we'll be back with more from Saintair in Quebec in just a moment.
What could you win in the Labatt's Blue Ski Dream Contest?
Welcome back to Saintair International Speedway. The riders are being introduced to a big crowd that's gathered here for this opening round of the Superbike Championships. 2 riders who are expected to be at the front of the grid are not there. Gary Goodfellow crashed in qualifying yesterday. He'll have to start in the back. And Michel Mercier, who actually took the checkered flag first, but was charged with passing under a waved yellow flag, was disqualified in qualifying. He'll also have to start in the back of the grid. Now here's Craig Hill with our starting lineup.
And on the pole is the 1988 Canadian Superbike champion on a Honda RC30, Ruben McMurder. And next to him is Steve Crevier on his Yamaha. Steve's from Port Coquitlam, BC. Another Yamaha rider is 3rd. It's Tommy Douglas from Laval, Quebec. And completing the front row is Miguel Duhamel in his Mike Crompton prepared Suzuki.
The second row will have Craig Trinder, Jeff Gaynor, the rookie, and Benoit Pilon, all on Suzuki's. Row 3, Fletcher, Klassen, Norm Murphy on the Kawasaki, and Mike Griffiths on Suzuki. Row 4, Art Robbins, a former Canadian champion, Derek Medalia and Lindley Clark. Row number 5, another rookie, Gannett, Mark Kowalski, Tommy Kipp, the American rider, and Pascal Picot. The 6th row, Steve Wykes, Philippe Savard, and Dan Johnson, both of those riders on Kawasaki's. Yves Brisson, Luis Waugh, Steve Dick, and Shane Butts make up row 7. Then it's Steve Kea, Gary Goodfellow, Martin Ducharme in row 8, and Michel Mercier, the only rider in row 9. Riders revving those machines up. On the front row, we're away. Miguel Duhamel, number 97, gets a quick start from the outside of that first row. 107, Crevier right up alongside, and here comes Trinder right down to the inside. But it'll be Crevier, and now up to the outside. Duhamel will take the lead with a late braking move going into the hairpin. Duhamel, 97, your leader. 107, Crevier runs in second as they head uphill into the chicane. Duhamel on the Suzuki, 107. Steve Crevier on the Yamaha, and then comes defending champion number 1, McMurder, on the Honda RC30. There's Gary Goodfellow, number 8, as he moves to the inside of Benoit Pilon, 163. Goodfellow continues his charge up through the front. Through the stock car oval that makes up this outstanding road course here at Saintair, it is still Duhamel, 97, the leader, as they come onto the straightaway. 107, though, Crevier here works to draft. He'll pull up alongside and try to slingshot past as they go into the hairpin. And Crevier, number 107, has taken the lead away from Duhamel. Craig, that is the classic draft and slingshot around at the end of the straightaway move that we just saw there by Crevier.
Oh, you bet, Pat, but you got to remember that Yamaha's got a lot of power, too, and Crevier's riding it extremely well this weekend.
A lot of the riders commenting that this new Yamaha FZR OW01 is the fastest motorcycle here at Saintair on the drag strip. Great race here for 3rd between McMurder, number 1, on that Honda RC30, and Craig Trinder, number 5, on a year-old Suzuki. Trinder is just riding the wheels off that machine. In fact, now he moves down to the inside of McMurder, but McMurder will hold him off. Great battle up front between Crevier, 107. There is Duhamel. He got really wide there in turn 1. That will cost him some time.
These guys are setting a blistering pace out front, Pat. I've never seen these kids ride so fast at this track before. And you know, the funny part about it is we got Michel Mercier, who started at the back of the grid. He's up into about 5th spot now. So the old guys are coming through, too.
Oh, Trinder just about crashes as he gets on the power. He has moved around McMurder into 3rd. McMurder, number 1, runs 4th. Then it is Tommy Douglas, number 2, in 5th. And Michel Mercier. There's Mercier up to the outside of Douglas as they come on the front straightaway. And Michel Mercier, the 2-time Canadian Superbike champion, has made an incredible charge up into that 6th place position off the 9th row. Trinder will hold off McMurder as the riders break late into that hairpin. And here is a great 4-way battle for the 3rd place position. And it is Trinder, number 5, who leads the other 3 machines. Those are newer motorcycles, but Trinder is running out here on sheer talent. And of course, very, very aggressive. On the inside, Tommy Douglas moves around McMurder to pick up the 4th place spot. Here is Mercier. McMurder right back down to the inside, and he will move back around into the 4th place position. Mercier also pushes Douglas back a spot as Michel Mercier puts his Suzuki up into the 5th place position. It has been back and forth, and Craig, what a run here for the 3rd place position.
Oh, you bet. They're really going at it hot and heavy out there today, Pat.
Here's the leader, Crevier 107. He has got his hands full with Duhamel number 97 as they charge into turn 1.
And there are the standings with Crevier just ahead of Duhamel, followed by Craig Trinder, McMurder in 4th, and Mercier in 5th. And Pat, it's great to see riders like Trinder up into 3rd. He's from Vancouver, and the team runs on a very limited budget.
Craig, I had a chance to talk to one of the big budget Suzuki riders, Miguel Duhamel, and asked him if there were any places where he has an advantage.
My advantage is braking still. I think I brake pretty deep and pretty hard. I make up a couple of bike links, well, maybe one now. That's about it, and I think exiting the corners, corner number 1, I'm pretty good on too, and especially the ball too. So that would be my 2 strong points, I think, and hopefully that'll take me to 1st place.
Here's that race for 3rd. It is 11 Mercier, your new 3rd place rider, then Trinder, followed by McMurder, and then Tommy Douglas. The leaders are on the front straightaway. Crevier makes the quick check over the left shoulder, and from the onboard Sony Handycam, you're with Tommy Douglas as he tries to run down Ruben McMurder, and there's the horsepower on the Yamaha. Douglas moves from 6th past McMurder, and he will pick up a couple of positions on the straightaway. 107, Crevier goes wide, and number 97, Miguel Duhamel has gone back out in front. There is 11 Mercier in 3rd, Douglas up to 4th, and Trinder now comes through into 5th. McMurder on the Honda RC30 now is the 6th place rider. So Craig, they have really been swapping it back and forth, and here's Crevier. He looks as though he was set to make a move on number 97, Duhamel.
Well, I'm interested in McMurder on the RC30. I asked him when it would be competitive.
Well, I certainly think that we have a little ways to go in development on the bike. We're still doing some things, and we still have some more pieces coming for it. But at this point, it's already accelerating real good. We're a little bit down on top speed of some of the bikes, but with the acceleration and the...
Onto the straightaway. So here is 107 Crevier as they come up on a slower rider into the hairpin. And number 97, Miguel Duhamel, has closed it back up. Just a bike length separating 107 Crevier on the Yamaha and number 97 Duhamel on the Suzuki. That race for 3rd at the end of the straightaway. Number 1 McMurder has moved into 4th.
There are the standings with that pass, with Crevier leading, followed by Duhamel, Douglas, McMurder, Mercier, then it's Trinder, Goodfellow, Fletcher, Clausen, and Gannett in 10th.
And we'll be back with more from Saintair International and the closing laps of our Superbike race in a moment.
Welcome back to Saintair and round number 1 of the Castrol Motoplan National Superbike Championship. I'm Craig Hill along with Pat Gonzalez as we're on the last lap of this Superbike feature.
It has been a race-long battle between Crevier number 107 on the Yamaha and Miguel Duhamel number 97 on the Suzuki. That race for 3rd place, McMurder number 1 goes through into 3rd with a beautiful late-breaking move into the hairpin. Douglas runs 4th. Mercier number 11 is 5th. Here is Crevier and Duhamel, who pushes it very hard coming out of the chicane as they have just about 3 corners to go. Miguel Duhamel is all over Steve Crevier as they come out of the bridge. Duhamel to the inside takes the lead. Miguel Duhamel on the the front straightaway. Here comes Crevier. The checkered flag is out, and Duhamel will win it by a bike length. Under the bridge, McMurder trying to hold on for third. Douglas number 2 is right there, but McMurder checks over the left shoulder, and he will have just enough to finish in third. Douglas fourth.
And so the championship standings look like this. Duhamel has 15 points. Crevier and McMurder are tied with 12 because Rubin grabbed 2 points with the Michelin Pole Position Award. Then it's Douglas with 8, Mercier 6, Trinder 5, Goodfellow 4, followed by Fletcher, Clausen, Gannett with a single point.
A brilliant pass by Miguel Duhamel for the win. I'm Pat Gonzalez for Craig Hill. We'll see you next from Nova Scotia for round number 2 of the Castrol Motorplan National Superbike Championship.